All right, let's see here. It is time. Oh my god.
Aww.
I'll remember it there.
You
Forward.
told me to throw it towards the stairs.
Forward pass. Hi everybody. I had a few.
Satsy correctly identified that I was here. wonder how they knew.
Just a little, just a little chaos in the morning. Good morning. We successfully shocked multiple things.
Yeah, I shut down the Stream Deck. I'm sorry, I was playing with the Stream Deck, but I also shocked it. Is this yours? Would you like it?
Yes.
I got it for you as a present. I brought over breakfast pretzels and a Gundam shirt. I could have wore a shirt that was like flattering, but like I'm tired.
Come here.
New year, new me, new Gundam.
Did you know that this is the last breakfast stream of the year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is the last one. So, first off, morning. This is the last breakfast stream of the year. We've had a good year of breakfast streams. There's been some guests in the past few months, which have been really great. Especially after, a period of like several years where there wasn't. So that's been nice. It's been a nice little change. But yeah, this is the last. So this isn't the last breakfast stream ever. It's the last breakfast stream of 2022. So, and Alex had to work.
And also be there to.
Oh yeah,
the oven repair dude.
They're fixing your oven because your oven experienced a bad.
Just shut. Yeah, 2-year-old oven just dead.
Yeah, that's not
over the holidays.
Yeah, but they're so lucky I was not home over Christmas because I think I mentioned it during the New Year's party, but that was like when we had just gotten the news that it was not going to be fixed, and he's like, "Oh, I'll be back like next week," and I was like, "No, it's not."
Yeah, it's that sort of thing is never an ideal situation.
We didn't even self-clean. Alex made biscuits.
Yeah, it just stopped working.
I put the mustard.
Mm-hmm.
That was a mistake, Steven. You should have done what Haley did.
I realize that now. But at the time, I was like, this makes sense. And it's actually very difficult to maneuver this.
Do you need assistance?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I have done this before, erroneously. There we go. I also have a cookie.
Oh no, the entire control board fried. So it was not a biscuit piece falling in, it was the entire board just frying.
Yeah, that's bad.
And it's a gas oven, so like the gas was fine, but it wasn't working.
It's fine. It's going to be better today.
Yeah.
Today it'll magically be all solved.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can't speak for certain, but like that's the hope, right?
It's fine. I planned soup, so.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a good solution.
The stovetop works.
Yeah. And you have our toaster oven.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, did we leave that with you?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so you got a tiny oven. That's fine.
We also got an oven for Christmas.
You got an oven for Christmas?
That's what an air fryer is.
Oh, you got an air fryer. That's right. I thought
It's
you were
basically a convection oven.
Yeah.
I made fries.
We got an air fryer for Christmas, sort of.
Sort of, yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been trucking on vlogs a little bit. I say that, and then I'm sure the things will slow down just because I spoke that into existence. But like, it won't be too long. I'll have the Christmas stuff out. Let me read a few of these. Oh, you scarfed down your breakfast pretzel.
She's hungry.
I'm a hungry girl. I'm growing.
Me too. Me too.
I didn't eat enough, and that's why I'm this short. That's what I tell children when little kids are like, "Why are you so short?" I look at them real sadly, and I go, didn't listen to my parents and didn't eat my vegetables. And then the parents always like high five me, and I'm like, glad I can use my height for you.
And see, you say I ate all my vegetables. Even
I
lived
just
on chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, I just tell them that I ate a lot of chicken noodle soup. Oh, I ate a bunch of condensed soup.
You should tell them something more fun, like, "Oh man, I was really into arugula." Get the kids. You can get the kids into arugula.
I have a lot of power.
Yeah, see, I mean, I just, go, yeah, eat all my broccoli.
Yeah, that's...
I don't want to be that tall.
Yeah, it could backfire, depending on if they're in awe or not.
I hit my head on lots of things. Eat your arugula.
That's exactly what you sound like.
It's what I sound like to a child. Like, I'm hovering up above them. Like, hello.
Yeah, past dancer, me and you, 411 Club.
We got 30 months from Gruggs Pro, 51 months from Satsy, 52 months from LHMS 1704, 48 months from Ange Mint. That's a multiple. I almost missed that it was a multiple. It must be so early that I can't remember my 12s.
I don't have anywhere to put coffee.
Congrats on 4. What, you don't?
No, but because I only need to clap. That's.
I only need to clap.
Just holding my mug, I'm fine.
I have one hand and I must clap. 21 months from Alien Whale, 51 from Anorak. 25 from Nomi Bookworm, 20 from Mariq Tofu, 2 months from Creature Man 2002, 12 months from Star Wars Trekkie. 12 is also a multiple of 12, as I have learned. 30 months from Rainbow Zuaten, 38 from NG Bin, 33 from Pete Cow, 19 from Miss Jackie Lynn, 17 for Persona X, 20 months from Hands On Mama, 45 from Sudabite, 24 from Jamie K, 27. I can read. I'm so good at it. 27 from Happy Oro, 3 from Barbarian Rex. We got 3 into Bits from Genesis. It says, hey, speaking of new Gundam, I got the Master Grade EX Unicorn Gundam kit for Christmas this year, and I feel like with Haley's shirt, it's fitting to share that today.
You can do it. I'm around.
My dad, oh, hey, gift subs. Thank you, Twitchy Toes. My dad, we were at the Michaels or the craft store or whatever went over Christmas, and my dad walked through the custom models, yeah, the models aisle, and he was like, the models, they've gotten so expensive. He's like, when I was a boy, they were just a few dollars. And I was like, well,
inflation.
I was like, technically everything did get more expensive since you were a boy. And he's like, that's true.
See, honestly, my favorite thing to do, though, is whenever people who are significantly older than me, this has been my favorite passive-aggressive thing to do. I'm sorry, because it happens a lot, especially in sewing groups, where somebody be like, I need a dress form, and back when I was a girl, they were only $30, and now they're blah, 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 blah. It's so much. My favorite thing to do is to innocently, passive-aggressively hop into the comments and post a screenshot from the inflation calculator to be like, oh, what year was that? Because they're like in the 70s, and I'm like, wow, according to the inflation calculator, they actually cost more, so they've really gone down in price. And it's my favorite thing to be passive aggressive about. Because it's amazing with how many things that people complain about. They're like, well, back in my day it was only 30, and I'm like, it's cheaper now. Inflation. Anyway, I recommend it. I have learned this by being in customer service, where one of the best things you can do is just pretend being stupid, especially when somebody is being extremely dumb. The best way to get back at a customer is just to, play stupid and, make them explain themselves and be like, it seems to me like kind of what you're suggesting is that just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I'm just a dummy. And then they're like, oh, I am an idiot. But yeah, so anyway, inflation calculator, use it during arguments. It's so delightful. Just do it. Just act like you're really excited. Be like, oh my gosh, I heard about this fun thing. And then you get them.
My dad was also, speaking of Gundam specifically, he was also surprised about Gundam, because when he was growing up, it was just like the Chevy kit.
The Chevy Gundam.
You put together. I wouldn't mind seeing the Chevy Gundam. So that is also very different. He was amused by that. Twitchy Toes gifted those 10 subs. First off, thanks. Second off, those went to Go Long 4, Spin of the Arrow, Pre-Arrow, Spin Other Arrow. Spin Other Arrow, I got there.
Spino the Arrow.
Spino the Raro is how I started.
Yeah.
Spino the Raro.
I like Spino the Raro.
This is a friendly reminder, because people don't know this. You can capitalize letters in the words.
But why would you do that?
It doesn't do it by default. Like, you make an account and it puts it all
good
lowercase.
not capitalizing was good enough for E.E. Cummings. Bell hooks, you don't have to do it.
Prelio7, Woody Kitsune, Mvors, Umbreon Studios, Naraya 333, JMac 0064, Kingdom Hearts 2, and Plastermaster 2252. Twitchy Toast, thanks. Appreciate it. We get 310 bits from Anorak. Says, so Genesis and I were theory crafting a new alert for when especially cool music comes on. Could we get a GIF emote of a jar of jam bobbing its head? Call it George Jam. I see what you did there. I guess the only thing that we have that's adjacent to music is we have the emote of me singing, which I guess doesn't really work when it's music themed and not, otherwise.
The singing snail.
We could. I would be fine with that. We get 31 months from Grandson Brambo, 12 months from Dual Braids. Congrats, someone. Yeah, we do have ska. I guess ska is that's very much a...
Oh, they let you do that legally?
They let us legally have ska. 30 bits from Cheese Hammer says, Happy New Year, Dad. I'm guessing my Christmas gift is still in the mail or something. That's fine. Mail can be slow this time of year. May your new year be fun and actually require hammering some cheese for once. This could be the year. This could be the year. We haven't had frozen mozzarella in a long time, but this could be the year. It could be it. We did have normal mozzarella.
Why do you heat up pretzel only to eat when cold?
Haley.
Why do they call it oven?
Haley.
When they oven the hot food and of out the cold food.
Haley, so many things in my life are the product of good intentions. The product of good intentions.
It's just I feel that you deserve to eat food that is the right temperature.
Yeah. It's not even that I disagree with you. I just, I
have strong feelings about eating food at the right temperature.
Same.
I have extremely strong feelings.
I have strong feelings about making sure that I am always leading the stream in a good direction and making sure that entertainment is at the forefront of whatever's happening. And the food is good, and I will get to it when I can.
I really hate it when you go to a holiday dinner and they're like, okay, everybody grab the food, and you scoop up your food and you sit down to eat it, and they're like, no. We have to wait for all 40 people to sit down, and then we're going to do speeches, and then you can eat it. And I'm like, no. No, I'm not going to fill up a plate of food and then stare at it and then have it get cold. If you want to do speeches and blessings and do it before people grab the plate, why do you want me to eat the food cold? Let me eat it at the way the temperature that the cook wanted it to be eaten.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I lose it like when I'm like making dinner and like I scoop up, because you always give your partner the prettiest and best food, so I scoop up Alex a plate and I'll give it to him, and then he'll like wait politely for me to like get my plate, and I'm like, no, we don't do this here. You need to eat it now because this is the temperature that I wanted it to be.
See, I used to wait for you, but then you would be like, no, I'm gonna vlog this and talk for 10 minutes. So I gave up and I just started eating.
I'd prefer you eat anyway. Because, so sometimes I film the food before I start eating it because it's pretty. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I wait so I can taste it and then offer an opinion. It's nice if I'm filming it and it's pretty and you've started eating, because then I can just ask you. I can be like, look, this is pretty. Mallory has already started to consume it. Mallory, what do you think? And she'll be like, it's good. I'll be like, good. And
now
then,
let me talk for 10 minutes about what happened today.
What?
So then I'll end the vlog and then I'll eat.
Oh my god. The thing you are describing...
Things people are going to pay attention to from now on.
Don't make them aware of it. Listen, that doesn't happen very often. That's a pretty rare thing that you're saying right now.
I also just eat fast.
I can.
But my dad and I have the same ADHD problem where when we sit down to eat, we're like, we would like to consume and then be done now. We're like, we are done. It has been 30 seconds. I am now ready for a new activity. This is why you need crafts at the table, so that I stay at the table. If you don't have crafts at your table, I'm not staying at the table.
Aaron says Steven is surrounded by savagery. I know, I have it on both sides literally today.
All I'm saying is, man, I sure wish that you could eat your snacks
I know.
when you heat them up for yourself. And everyone's like, oh, he's so savage. And I'm like, but I just want you to enjoy your food.
I know. And, like, I want to enjoy my food, but, again, it's hard. You gotta heat it up, then you gotta come upstairs, and you gotta start. It's just a thing. I appreciate you bringing pretzels.
Yeah, I got up and I went and bought pretzels.
Because, like, I don't ever get to eat a pretzel in the morning. I love morning pretzel.
Oh, me and Mel have
matching nails
accidentally
today.
matching nails. She's got holo taco and I've got holographic nail powder.
But they're the same silver linear
But we
hollow.
both had the same idea for New
Yeah.
Year's. I was gonna maybe stamp something black over it, and I think I have some that I got like fireworks. We'll figure it out. I just thought it was funny when I was we were like, oh, huh,
Yeah.
same idea.
Yeah, not intentional, but fun for stream.
Yeah.
It makes me think of it's a shame because the song that I used to know from White Christmas was trains. We're riding a train. We're on a train. This is a train. And now it's sisters. I don't
Gotta
actually
go up. They're more devoted sisters.
more devote. Okay, I couldn't. Yes, we are. We are both sisters.
My eye on her, sharing,
Yeah.
caring.
That's now the song because they sing it twice.
Yeah, there's a...
They sing it
guys
twice.
sing it, yeah.
No, the girls sing it too, because they sing it again
They
in
do
the
sing it
lodge.
later.
So really, with the guys singing it, it's 3 times.
She wore the dress, and I stayed home.
John says, "I have idea what this is a thing from." White Christmas. It's a film that I saw recently. Actually, I saw it this month, and it was good. It was genuinely good. It's a movie from the 50s.
Changed your life.
It changed
I just can't believe
changed my life.
You just love it.
I was surprised when my dad and Rhonda were here. And he's like, oh yeah, I love White Christmas. And I'm like, we never watched that growing up. This is new information, Mark.
When Alex came up to visit me one of the first times, he stayed for a little while, and he found out that there was like a little historic theater that had like an organ and all that stuff, had a White Christmas sing-along version. So they had like a sing-along beforehand, like with the organ that came up out of the ground. It was really good. And then they showed like all these like retro advertisements before it from the era. And then you got to watch the movie, and then for all the songs, they'd pop captions up and have the little bouncing ball so you could sing all the songs.
That's super neat.
And honestly, I this is so cheesy, I know, but like having everybody sing White Christmas at the end was actually like really emotional, and like we were like crying. Because it's a very touching part of the movie, and then just like being with like all of these strangers who all just like this movie. It was very nice. So it was, he got tickets, and it was very sweet.
Oh.
You can't spell Yuletide cheer without Tiny Eddie's World's Most Ambitious Oatmeal Pudding.
Ooh. I don't know if it should be ambitious.
Most ambitious oatmeal pudding, or Maup.
Mope.
1,000 bits from Travis B. Vibin.
Mope. You guys don't
Tiny
see
Eddie's World's Most Ambitious Oatmeal Pudding.
It's very skinny on our screen.
Mope.
So just as
The acronym for it.
Mope.
Anyway, is Tiny Eddie still in vogue these days? Yes. Absolutely. Also, you can't spell Yuletide cheer without T-mope. Without T-mope.
Is it still Yule time? Do we have any like fun New Year's words?
There's some New Year's ones, I think.
I don't know what fun New Year's words are.
But also, it's
think-
like still the 12 days of Christmas or something.
Yeah, I think
it is still the 12th, because those go into like January.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also have no control over any of
knows
it.
about that stuff. I don't.
Got that Teal'c spirit. Teal'c. Isn't Teal'c the character in League of Legends? Isn't that the little guy that drops the mushrooms?
Oh man, Thomas loves Teal'c.
It's his favorite character. We got 24 months from Never Challenge the Chat. Now I'm holding this, so I'll do this. Congrats on the 2. 45 months from Spin a Trap. 310 bits from Anorak says, so the company I work for shuts down for a week after CM. So I've been straight chilling, building many Lego display sets and playing a lot of Ultimate. How's your week? Our week's been good. I mean, it's been nice because, like, people are starting to come back into town. Obviously, Alex and Haley
Some people are delayed.
Some people are caught in the whole flight.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess I'm projecting a little bit, but, like, this week will be even better because our friends are starting to get back into town.
And some of them are going to be more exhausted than others.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see Dan. I don't know when Dan gets back in.
Dan's already here. Dan got back in Tuesday.
Did he say anything?
I don't know.
I don't think he said anything.
I mean, I knew he was coming back on Tuesday. It was on the calendar.
Yeah, but he didn't say anything, so I assumed that he, like,
Stayed?
either stayed or didn't make it.
He got back Tuesday.
He died.
Like, I don't know.
I Dan died.
I was looking at it, I was like, Dan didn't say anything, so.
It's fine.
We
He's
all
dead.
have Find Dan turn on. So
Find my Dan.
Find My Dan.
We do have Find My Dan turned on. I
So-
didn't turn it on. I didn't, you know.
On Tuesday, during breakfast stream, Brandon was having an IKEA delivery. Brandon got stuck in the whole Southwest mess.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll go over there. No one else is in town yet. It's fine. Steven can do breakfast stream.
Yeah, we were
Signed for the
still over
IKEA
that.
delivery. Came back home. Dan got home that night. Josh got delayed from weather. You guys got home Tuesday.
It was a flight mix-up.
Yeah, Josh also had a flight mix-up
Someone
and then
they,
a weather delay.
accidentally
Oh, they
deleted
deleted his
flight on
Yeah.
accident because there's something about, like, when he was flying up, they made a change to it, and the person's like, "Oops, no return flight."
Yep.
Yeah.
They deleted Josh's. Yeah, Josh has had a whole.
Josh has had a day,
Whole
couple
thing.
days, and he's arriving back tonight at like 11, right?
Yeah.
So one of us will go get him. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. It's. I will be happy to have everyone back.
Yeah.
Not just because I love my friends, which I do, but then also I think everyone is ready to be here
Yeah.
and to
Yeah.
try and.
I think everyone is too.
I mean, it's not like an insult or anything, but so Alex and I went back to Birmingham, and which is, where we've lived for the past 5 years, and we were amazed at how quickly it felt extremely foreign. Like, we kind of expected to go back there and be like, oh yeah, we're back at home, but we got there and we're like, I want to go back to Raleigh. So it's good though. It means that we are happy that we moved.
Yeah, I mean that's good. So like Mount and I had a wonderful Christmas, but the interesting thing was it was the first Christmas where we had to like get up and drive to where Christmas was. We're so used to being not that far away, and that part was different.
But see, that part's normal for me.
Yes.
So that was...
I was curious how you felt about it because like it is not that different, but also you've lived with me for
for
a long time.
A long time. I mean, growing up, like, because it was divorced family.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve with my mom's family. Christmas morning, we'd do gifts with my mom. My dad would pick us up and we would drive 2 hours to Milwaukee. So that was kind of, like that, because we drove 2-ish hours to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
So
it was an interesting feeling, and especially I think I had mentioned it the other day, but like staying in the house because Mount and I have not slept there in over 10 years.
Yeah.
And that was the weird part for me, was going to bed that night in my childhood bedroom and being like, oh.
You were like, look at all my connects and my
I
Legos.
did.
Man, look at this thing.
I did want to do
Bring
that.
Connects so we can play with Connects.
I did bring them.
You can add them to my
shrimp.
stash.
Looks like I just became the shrimp.
Wiggle your arms, because it'll be like it's got little arms.
2022 from Goldmage, who says, today is the second or third cat puzzle to last stream of Year of the Shrimp. It is the last breakfast shrimp. Please all take a moment to reflect on the nature of shrimp and breakfast and how they go together. I mean, shrimp and grits total breakfast food, so I'm down for that.
Sorry, I didn't bring you breakfast shrimp. I brought you breakfast pretzels.
I prefer that. Yeah. So what is today? Is today the third to last? Third to last, because today I should have announced it earlier. Today we are doing puzzle stream. Haley is joining us to help. I would say me and Mal, but it's really just going to be helping Mal.
Haley and I are going to finish the cat puzzle.
And I will be there. It's kind of how that's going to work.
As a concept?
Yeah. It's a concept. We didn't actually decide on a time.
Just ask
Chaz. No, I told Chaz last night, I was like, it's either going to be this time or this time, and I'll discuss it with everyone before we went live. Chaz said, yeah, I know, but we decided, we had a range, and we didn't decide. Noon. What do you think about noon?
I don't care. I have a thing to do, and I would like to work on my time lapse.
I brought a Switch so I can just lay around and play video games.
What do you think about noon?
Tactics,
Chaz, what do you think?
Me and Chaz were deciding between noon and 1, and the only thing that really happens is like after breakfast stream.
Noon is what we said.
Yeah, is what we thought was the best. Yeah, it's basically 90 minutes after breakfast stream, which is enough time to like chill for a bit and maybe to have a small meal.
I could play a battle in Tactics Ogre.
So that's probably what we're
I'll work on the puzzle. Haley can play Tactics Ogre, and you can read alerts.
All right. Yeah, it's the tabletop stream has definitely had some interesting time slots because in a general sense it happens on Sunday afternoons, but then also it kind of happens other times as well. Virginia, how about chilling until today? No, it's got to happen earlier. It's got to happen earlier. It's okay. There will also be we're finishing the cat puzzle.
Yeah.
And it's going to go great.
Probably. I had to take the puzzle. I took one of our artworks that's on a canvas, and I slid the whole puzzle onto it, and then I took it up into my room so we could do gingerbread stream.
Yes.
That's what we did with it.
Yes. And it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. It's all in one piece.
Yeah. It was difficult.
Anyway, 23 months from A Lover's Rose, 14 months from Travis Be Vibing, 2 months from Oh, whoa, ooh, ow, my dude. Did I read that right? You're all welcome. And a subscription from Husker Alpha.
Welcome.
It's fine. Breakfast stream inflicts physical pain. So,
it does.
Since this is the final breakfast stream...
Ever.
The final breakfast stream of 2022, I was hoping to hear from some folks about what their favorite moments on breakfast stream this year were. Certainly, there's been some... There's the oohs. Certainly, there's been some good moments, I would say even just very recently. Because, having friends in town and having them be able to appear on stream or jump out from behind the couch.
I did like that. It was really good.
Yeah, that one was really recent. I didn't want to mention the super recent one, but that was really good. It was really good. I enjoyed that. Having Josh on stream was good. And that's the other thing is I'm sure Josh will appear on breakfast stream a little more often too because he'll be back here because he wasn't here. Bird cam. That's a good answer. There was a short period of time when we were still getting moved in where we were downstairs and we had an entirely separate camera affixed outside just pointing at birds just so you could see birds. I liked that.
Yeah, I think Orange Juice Cereal was this year. That was before we moved.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I did like when you announced we were moving and you pulled the green screen down and all the Wii games were gone. That was fun.
Yeah, there was when Alex and I broke in and gave all sorts of special stuff for TikTok only.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
The first bird parade, there were so many birds.
Yeah, we had a little bird parade. Yeah. And then also just in general, the return of guests to breakfast stream. Starting in August, we've had people on breakfast stream every single month.
Yeah.
sometimes twice a month, and that's been
Rad was
great.
this year?
Rad was not this year. Get out,
no.
Chaz. That was a last year thing, was it not? Are you kidding? No, Chaz is right, because, Juliet just put out Breakfast Stream from 2021. Rad wasn't in it.
Yeah.
It was this year. Oh my god. Wow. Well, I mean, the thing is, this has felt like an extra long year because we did it in two places.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel that way, but, does it feel like you're this year was longer because you lived two different lives?
Yeah, and I also had, a very notable start of the year, because I was up in Wisconsin for several weeks, and that was when I rented an ice fishing house for my friends.
That's right, I remember that.
And all of that was very fun, but that feels like 1,000 lifetimes ago.
Yeah.
Oh, National Chaz Day was very fun with the animal quiz.
Oh yeah, and happy hour. Yeah. Oh yeah, Elden Ring. That was a great dream. Did I ever tell you that dream? I had a dream that Chaz is gonna be mad I'm retelling this story. It's fine. I had a dream that I was playing. It was Elden Ring. Mm-hmm. It was that was what I was playing, and there was all these reviews coming in for Elden Ring, but it wasn't called Elden Ring. It was called Anus Baby, and that was. And it was all straight faced. There was no part of it that was facetious or parody or anything. It was just the IGN was an anus baby is coming in with a 9.8 out of 10. I think I said 9.8 out of taint, and I did not mean to say that, but the mind is kind to me. Yeah. Anyway, it was great. It was a great dream, and I don't. Also, 9.8 out of taint. Woo! Oh, God. So anyway, here's a Tiny Eddie to wash that down.
The perfect fuel for Santa's narwhals, Tiny Eddie's fizzy iceberg salsa fingers.
Oh, this is a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
To say nothing of the fact that Santa has narwhals.
So they're fizzy.
Iceberg.
Yeah, iceberg. From Travis V. Vibin says, how about another Tiny Eddie snack since we're all still waking up? Yeah, now you're awake.
Salsa fish sticks?
So it's a carbonated... It's a frozen...
Carbonated salsa stick?
Yeah, so it's like a mozzarella... It's I was gonna say like a mozzarella stick, but instead of mozzarella, it's only filled with salsa.
It's salsa with
and they're
carbon
still
dioxide.
Frozen.
It's salsa with carbon dioxide in it.
Oh, God.
Is that what they use to make things fizzy? And then it's frozen in a mold that looks like a finger.
No, it's like this is where they put it in candies. So when you put it, it's like
Pop Rocks.
Yeah, Pop Rocks.
Yeah.
So it's salsa filled with Pop Rocks and frozen into a popsicle.
In the shape of a finger.
In the shape of a finger.
Hi, Dan.
Hey,
We were just
He's alive.
Dan, you're alive.
Talking about you. About
We were just
how no one except me knew you were home already.
We were like, I think Dan's dead. We weren't sure, but now we know. That's good.
Don't you guys remember in the Raleigh group? I was like, "Hey Dan, I left some mail for you from Roland," and he was like, "Thanks, I found it."
We've replaced everyone's presents with Tiny Eddie's flappy chewy pies.
Elizabeth War Turtle says, so other people having for breakfast, Eddie? I had French toast. Ah, most people are enjoying flabby chewy pies. I'm trying to imagine what the marketing campaign for flabby chewy pies is.
It's the reject line.
Chewy pies.
It's a lot of crust. Too much.
Mom, my niece is texting me about the new Pokemon games.
Oh.
She just messaged me, I found the Lady Gaga ostrich. I don't know what this means out of context, because I've had no spoilers.
All right, chat. Who is the Lady Gaga ostrich? I know exactly what it means, okay?
Noah says, and yes.
She's 12 and very funny, and I'm extremely into it. And
Espathra?
Is that a good name?
Espathra.
She's very funny, and it was that was definitely the highlight, was getting to trade Pokemon and stuff with her. But nobody else gets it. Everybody's like, "Oh, you better thank Aunt Haley for playing games with you. And I'm like, you don't, because now I could sit upstairs with you and play Pokemon instead of sitting downstairs where there was no coloring table.
I always really enjoyed it. It hasn't been like many times in my life, but I've always enjoyed getting a chance to connect with kids over video games, because like talking to children is difficult otherwise, because I am an adult and I have no way of like connecting to them. But if it's a video game, I'm like, oh, I get this because I was you, and then I just never stopped.
She did do
Stephen,
she did do a critical hit though, but
It's Green Hill
after
Zone,
he
but
found
everything's marshmallow. What will thanking Dr. Eggman do?
Also, I want you to really appreciate the fact that Green Hill Zone and Dr. Eggman are not linked together. So the fact that you got
Both
things from the same series is wild. That's extremely rare. That's been some Shadow Play. It says, Rad, give us a game that will beat Anus Baby.
What will thinking Dr. Eggman do?
So
He'll think about it. That's the answer.
Yeah.
it sounds like it's Sonic, except Green Hill Zone's been turned to Marshmallow, probably because of Dr. Eggman, and now he has to fix it. He's like, crap, this experiment didn't go well. Sonic's not even going to show up if everything's Marshmallow.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something that's gonna hurt everybody our age. For somebody, but anybody was so
This
talking
one's
her.
long.
It is long. I thought it was just a Chaz is the best.
Sorry. Chaz made the alert, so he decided that Thomas sings it twice. Now you're free.
So I was saying, so my niece is 12, and she told me that she's been getting really into retro games, and I was like, oh yeah, and she's like, oh, I picked up this used retro system. It's called the 3DS. And I did the math, and I was like, oh, you were one, wouldn't it? And then and then it got worse, and then she's like, oh, by the way, do you like my shirt? And she's like, look at my new shirt. And it's a shirt that said, it's a Pokemon shirt that said like Shiny Hunter, like since 1999. And she's like, but not really, because I wasn't born. And I'm like, you gotta stop.
I mean, so I could talk a lot about retro and the concept of retro, but the thing is, she's not really wrong.
No, it came out when she was 1.
She's not really wrong.
Like when I was 12, I would have thought of the NES as retro.
I mean,
Dan.
I'm gonna go cry in the bathtub.
Yeah. Anyway,
the best place to cry.
She is amazing, an absolute highlight of going home. Basically, the only thing I care about when I go to Burn is my step niece. I'm like,
whoa.
I'm sorry. Although her sister, though, also has a very strange sense of humor and told another extremely good joke that was like way so far ahead of like above my head that took me a second. But she was asking like when Alex and I like, oh, why don't you guys have kids? And I said, oh, well, we talked about it. Just don't really think it's for us. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she goes, oh, I know what Alex got you for Christmas. And I said, what? Because Alex and I don't get each other Christmas presents. So I'm like, what did Alex get me for Christmas? And she goes, a car. And I'm like, a car? And she said, yeah, so he can, slap the hood and be like, look at this old puppy. Because I told her that I like puppies instead of dogs. I'm sorry, puppies instead of babies. Oh, man, I told the story in very bad order. But basically, I told her I like dogs, and so she made a very next level joke about calling a car an old puppy, and I was like, 9 years old, man, you're just living in 2033, and I'm just back here rotting.
Kids are great. They get to remind us that we're old.
But yeah,
it's fine.
Getting the double whammy of within like 1 minute being shown the retro system. But she got really into Cooking Mama, the first one.
Oh.
So but she's legit though. Like she played like through Pokemon Crystal and everything, and I was like, oh, you are legit. So I was talking about Pokemon Gold, and she was like, oh yeah, I remember. And I'm like, I mean, like Heart and Gold. And she's like, no, I played Crystal. And I'm like, oh, you are cool.
We get 2203 from Cheesehammer. Chaz is truly the best. Anus Baby, 9.8 out of Taint from IGN. Only point against it was lack of Lady Gaga ostriches. That was really what would have taken that straight to Taint. Hopefully in the sequel.
Straight to taint.
Straight to Taint was my favorite 80 metal hairband. It was great.
Dan says, I'm excited to spoil my nephew with video games and Legos. Dan, you're the best uncle.
Yeah. It's not going to be a new shirt in the store. No,
It is
Noah.
it is a lot of fun though being like the cool relative because I guess I met her, technically she's my step niece but whatever, but I met her when she was like 6, and even then she was like extremely into Pokemon, and so it's been very fun how I immediately became the favorite like instantly. And now every holiday whenever me and Alex arrive, her and her sister like scream and I'm like, yeah, I am cool.
We got 300 bits from Squid, who made sure that we all heard the uwu earlier. 300 from the Bassoonist, who says, if y'all want something unique to do in the Triangle, check out the Simonetti tuba collection in Durham. Hundreds of unique rare tuba varieties on display. Also, the Hurricanes are doing the good hockey. I'm glad they're doing the good hockey. The tuba collection sounds interesting.
There's actually a handful of things I've been seeing in Durham I want to go check out, so.
Well, that's one thing that we haven't done, is spend a lot of time in Durham.
Yeah, we went there for the video game thing the one day, but that was it.
Yeah. I would like to... place is big.
We haven't been to Chapel Hill yet.
Place is big. We haven't been to Chapel Hill at all. We've been to Durham like once. And also, there's still a ton of Raleigh, because Raleigh is large.
We have not been to the art museum yet.
Yes, that's something. I actually thought we were going to maybe do that with Mark and Rhonda.
Yeah, but we found other things to do.
So we'll go.
Also, we're going to go see a hockey game sometime this spring.
Probably.
Yeah, most likely.
Waiting for Carly and Kyle to be here. I think we've said it before, but like Kyle has a cousin that plays for the Hurricanes. So they already...
It was actually kind of funny because the Hurricanes played what's the Minnesota hockey team? The Wolves?
Ooh, I'm drawing a blank on who they are. It's been a long time.
Anyway, the Hurricanes played the Minnesota team the night of the wedding. So like the cousin was actually... The Wild, thank you.
Yes,
so they
the Wild.
That cousin was actually in Minnesota for the wedding, or for the game, but couldn't make it to the wedding.
Yeah, so... Stingray games in Charleston are tight. I mean... At this point, so I've never seen a hockey game. It does sound like we're definitely going to see a Hurricanes game.
Yeah.
At some point, whenever Carly and Kyle visit.
I would play pep band for hockey games. We always would wear like Hawaiian shirts because it was funny. Do you get it? Because there's ice.
Oh.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
Do you get the joke?
Yeah.
Anyway.
It did take me a moment. It's like, why? It's fine. We got 37 months from Ninji, 26 months from A Lost Vagabond. Travis B. Vibin gifted a sub to family-friendly content. It's true. Mostly. 100 bits from War Turtle Eats Moses. 300 from Night Owl says, that just reminded me, I was working with middle schoolers this summer, and whenever I mentioned a show from the 90s or 2000s, they called it, and I quote, those old shows their parents watched. Please excuse me while I age significantly.
Yeah, that is exactly how I felt.
Yes, Dan.
I was like, Cece, you're killing me.
I saw something the other day because they're coming out with that 90s show and it has like the same characters from that 70s show.
They're just older.
Yeah. And it's like the grandkids of Kitty and Red.
Oh, okay.
And there was a comment that was like, well, when that show came out, like the 70s was, 30 years back or whatever.
Yeah.
And like the 90s was like that far back now.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I gave the, there was an interesting tidbit the other day, and now I can't remember the specifics, but I'll get close enough. It was like the amount of time that it's been the same amount of time between the now and the release of like Grand Theft Auto 3
The building of the pyramids.
Yeah.
As like the release of Grand Theft Auto 3 to the original like Super Mario Brothers or something. Like it was so ridiculous. It was like however long, it's been longer since Grand Theft Auto 3 to, I think, the original Super Mario Brothers.
Alex and I did get cool new nicknames, though, because we finally got to meet one of our nephews who was born during the pandemic, and he's, like, about 3, and he was struggling a bit with what to call us, and so I became Uncle Haley, and Alex was Uncle Owl.
Uncle
So
Owl.
these are
Uncle
cool
Owl.
new names. We have Uncle Haley and Uncle Owl.
I really like Uncle Owl. That That I like a lot.
So yeah.
I cannot wait to see art.
Oh, no, yeah, right. Hate
art
that.
of Alex as an owl. I've been waiting for this day my entire life. I can't wait.
Oh yeah, Uncle Owl and Uncle Haley.
Thomas says,
they're
Haley,
like
you do
aunt.
have big uncle energy.
Yeah, it's
a compliment.
It's like aunt, and the kid's like uncle. We're like, all right, it's uncle. It's fine.
It's fine.
I'm over it. I don't care.
We got 47 months from Luna Pearl. 300 bits from Satsu says, quick follow-up. The bug did fly off after, so it didn't drown. This will mean nothing to anyone who didn't catch today's early chat stories, but it's fine. Sugar. It means something to someone.
No.
That's the most
Uncle
important
Owl
thing.
already got us something.
Hey! Student gifted a sub to Uncle Owl.
I thought it was pretty cute though.
Is that the Tootsie Pop?
It's Mr. Owl.
Mr. Owl. Oh, yeah, I guess they're not. The kid and the owl aren't related. Dear Uncle Owl.
I feel like next time I see him, he'll have it figured out. But yeah, that is the kid who received the plush that I made of Mog from Final Fantasy VI. And the yellow ball, this was made with the fabric that I bought for the yellow ball, because, you always buy more. So, anyway, this fabric has been made into 2 Final Fantasy VI characters.
I love it.
This was the second.
I love it. You're destined for Final Fantasy creations. What would be the most obvious choice for another Final Fantasy plush?
Oh, so actually, I've been kind of planning one.
I was not expecting that quick answer.
I'm actually hopping.
Ultros.
I'm actually a really big fan of Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, and the Numu race is in the new games too, and there is a plush in the online game that is so dang cute.
Oh, that is cute.
And look at it. Look at it move. Look at it.
That
It's like
is
a
very
bunny
cute.
with a mohawk.
Yeah, so they're kind of like dog people. Like I'd taken I'd taken a picture of Leica that made me think of. I mean, I'm not showing you guys can't see it, but I was looking at this and I was like, oh my god, she's a Numu, because they're all hunched over like that. It's very cute. But anyway, they're one of my favorite races, and I've only really mostly seen them in Tactic. They just look so nice. They just look like they would
I've
be
seen
your
them
friend.
before.
Anyway,
I've seen this before.
I think it's called Clockwork, the Clockwork Numu little plush in the online game, I guess. And so I found the one that they sell, and I'm like, I can make it better. And I mean, look at his it wiggles his little ears. It's just so cute. So anyway, that's what I want to make. That's my next Final Fantasy thing I want to make, is one of these.
I'm glad that you've actually
Thought of this.
thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think of a lot of things. A lot. I'm always planning projects. What else can I do? I'm also debating. I'm like, I realize I need to get into crocheting or something, because the family holiday, they didn't have a coloring table, and I'm like, I guess you hate me.
Yeah, we actually have to figure out what our craft is going to be for
New Year's, yeah.
Saturday, because we haven't thought that far ahead.
The best thing though is, if you never know what to do, just buy stacks of paper, and I'll do something.
Well, we might actually.
We can make crowns out of paper. We can make all sorts of fun things.
Yeah,
Maybe after Puzzle Stream we'll run to a craft store.
Yeah, I also want to make a cross stitch, because my friend really wants to have a cross stitch of the "This is not a place of honor." and so I have been making my own, because really I thought about it. So I like doing pixel art, and really when you're doing embroidery, it's basically just analog pixel art, which is fun. So I was planning some out in my pixel art software using my own fonts that I was making. But the thing about crochet is I feel like crochet would be less stuff to carry around. So if I was going to have a craft specifically to go take places, then I would crochet.
Yeah, we
I thought really hard about this.
Since we're talking about New Year's, we won't be doing a stream on New Year's Eve, because that is Saturday, and we're having a party, because we had parties for years.
Yeah.
We actually we were talking about that with my mom when we were home for Christmas, and she was saying, you had done a New Year's party in your apartment.
Yeah, we did. Thomas was there.
Thomas was there. That was a long time ago, and that apartment was very small. Thomas says, I was there. You were there. That apartment was very small for how many people were in there.
Yeah.
That was 10 years ago. I've known Thomas for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, like 11 years. So I guess I hadn't known Thomas like super, super long at that point. You stayed there until 8 a.m.
Yeah, he did.
I don't remember all of the details, but I believe you. Anyway, we've been doing that for a long time, and then, we stopped because pandemic. But now we're doing it again, and as a result, we're doing all the normal stuff that we would do on stream for New Year's just the night before, which is Friday. So
which is tomorrow. That
is tomorrow. So in addition to, today, joining us in a bit for Mao and Haley doing a puzzle while I watch them do the puzzle. Also, tomorrow we'll be doing our normal stream time, and I don't exactly know what we're doing yet. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It'll probably be a short game that we can finish in a single sitting, and then we'll do a Q&A. So, Thomas says, I kept saying, man. Well, I should leave, and then we were like, okay, but what about Lady in the Water? Do you know about that movie? How does anyone remember anything about what happened more than 10 days ago, let alone 10 years? How do you, we talked about Lady in the Water for 2 hours. There is not 2 hours worth of content to talk about.
Thomas, I had also never seen it. So
it was just me.
Steven.
Lady in the Water is the worst movie. It is the worst movie.
I think there are much worse movies.
Tom says it was mostly about how your mom hated it. They did. My mom fell asleep less than 20 minutes into the film.
But that's kind of a classic mom move.
Well, she was excited to watch the movie and she fell asleep. And then Dad fell asleep, and then I sat there and watched the whole movie and I hated it. I really, really hated it. Did not like it at all. Anyway, there's probably worse films. But actually, there's not. 41 months from Board Turtle. And 52 months from Space Vixen Music. Thanks. Appreciate it. 397 bits from Cheesehammer says, you know what you could put some nicely hammered cheese on? M&M knows. We actually just had some spaghetti. First time we've done it in a while.
Yeah.
But we had some leftover cheese from when you made the bruschetta, and then we just used that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cheesehammer. The room is actually great. The Room is actually great. Anyone saying that The Room is bad is what a wild take. The Room is fantastic because it is entertaining. It is entertaining. Lady in the Water is boring, and that's the worst kind of movie. If you can watch a movie that is bad, and it has entertainment value because it is bad, that's great. Birdemic, great movie. You'll be talking about Birdemic.
The Hands of Fate?
Sure. Sharknado. Things that you can talk about, there's nothing to say about Lady in the Water. And that is the saddest thing. That is the saddest thing.
I don't remember hating that movie that much.
Oh, I do.
I think I saw it in theaters. Another movie that is very, very bad. Probably not as bad as Lady in the Water. It's the same director, of course it is. The Happening. The Happening is also extremely bad. It has entertainment value because it's stupid. But me and Alex watched, and I think Dan was probably there too because we watched it in college. We watched The Happening, and we watched it in fast forward. Like we watched it at 2x speed because we started it and we're like, let's just watch it at 2x speed so it gets somewhere. And then we never turned it off 2x speed, which is something, like, I don't ever do that, but, like, it was bad. If you don't know what The Happening is, it's a movie where something is happening, and nobody knows what is happening, but people are just, like, killing each other. And everyone's like, but what's happening? Trees or something.
It's I don't want to spoil the movie, but also
I don't think I'd even spoil it because all I remember is like people talking about it being like there's killing.
It's just
I've never even seen it.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Something in the trees is basically it. There's just stupid stuff that happens, and then they stare out into the distance, and then there's a shot of trees. And they're like, what if it's the trees? And that's the film! That's the whole movie! I just saved you a watch. Don't watch that movie. Oh my lord. What a terrible... You know what? Maybe it is worse than Lady in the Water. Lady in the Water's got some production value stuff. Yeah, Thomas says, poor M. Night is just getting the business today. Here's the thing. The dude has made some good stuff, some memorable stuff. Signs is good. I think.
I can't figure out like how he made all these good movies and then they all were bad. But he's making a new one that's based on something else, so maybe it'll be good because it's...
And Sixth Sense, can you imagine having a career that every film you made was just a coin flip? It's like, all right, a good one. Like, what's going on? That's wild. That's wild. Oh, I heard about Old. And like that's I saw the trailer for that, and it was very much classic M. Night, because I'm looking at that and I'm like, this is just a wild concept. But was it good? I don't know. It's a beach that makes you old. I don't know. The guy is a very wild track record. We had 100 bits from Creature Man 2002, 47 months from Kazuyume, and 300 bits from DC20 Will says, Stephen Hun, watch Showgirls sometime. It's wildly entertaining, but also wildly bad. I have seen parts of Showgirls on the television, which means that I probably am missing some things. Call it a hunch. But I don't think that cable TV is showing the entirety of Showgirls. Maybe I will at some point. I don't remember it very, very well.
I want to force everybody to watch Fern Gully, because Fern Gully is the better Avatar.
Yeah, watching the Rated X movie on television. Classic, Steve. Felt like there was some stuff missing in this film. I feel like maybe they should have filmed some other scenes.
Look at all these people defending. Yes, Fern Gully's a good movie. It was Robin Williams' first voice acting, and Disney hated it, and they tried to shut down the movie. Anyway, my dad really liked Fern Gully because my dad is the person of taste. But again, park ranger, so you know.
Park ranger.
Tim Curry, and
he's good taste.
Is
that the poison?
He's
just the concept of poison.
It's got Tim Curry that made a lot of kids very confused as a child. Either terrified, perhaps an awakening. You're not really sure.
Smog? Is that what?
Up above. Ooh.
I think I have actually.
He just moans. This is just a song for children. This is still family friendly.
Moaning. I think I may have actually seen Fern Gully. But it's one of those things I only remember vaguely the concept that I've seen it, not anything about it.
It's what Avatar wishes it could be, but couldn't.
But does it look lifelike? Are the blue people real?
Let's just watch Fern Gully, and then you don't have to watch Avatar.
I would like to see the new Avatar movie, but not
the new one.
Yeah,
Brandon said to skip it.
Okay, well,
the one cool thing
Brandon is allowed to think whatever he wants.
I've never seen Avatar because I saw Fern Gully, so why would I watch it? However, a cool fact though about Avatar 2 is that they consulted with C.J. Jones, who is a deaf comedian, to make a sign language specifically for the movie. And he actually has some very interesting videos on how he made up a sign language, because he wanted to make sure that it didn't look like any sign language that exists on Earth, because it was supposed to be for aliens. And then his other thought process was trying to connect it to the water, since that's something that's important. But that was very fascinating, just thinking about how somebody makes up a language. So that was cool, but I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to watch the videos from C.J. Jones on how he made it. I met him. He signed my thing. I shook my hand.
Carlos said the new Avatar was not amazing, but it was pretty good. I mean, it's been 10 years since I saw the first Avatar.
I didn't see the first one.
But my recollection of the film was like, it wasn't like an earth-shattering narrative experience, but it was fine, and then also the visuals were incredible. And that's kind of my assumption of what Avatar 2 would be. It's like, maybe not a life-changing film, but probably just fine, and probably ridiculously incredible visuals, so... I just have to be interested in seeing it based on that merit.
I do just have to give them props for actually consulting a deaf person to make up a sign language, because usually people are like, "Oh, if you just like flap your hands around,
just like flap your hands, and that's
fine." And it's like, no, like there's like a literal like rhythm to it.
Yeah.
Like there's always a rhythm to it, and anyway.
No, that's cool.
So yeah, I'm just gonna watch the CJ Jones talking about it, and then that's probably good.
Shout out to Carly because she's here. Carly finished Earthbound for the first time ever. Finally.
I was actually, it was fun because Carly finished Earthbound, and then right after we did our Earthbound race.
Day.
Yeah, so she was able to watch the Earthbound race and then appreciate it because she had just been through all of that. So we timed that pretty well.
Yep.
Carly, you know you gotta play Mother 3 now, right?
That's what I asked her the other day. I was like, so when you start in Mother 3?
When you play in Mother 3.
And she was like, should I? And I was like, yeah.
It's great. It is great. And it's like, it's similar enough that you'll appreciate it, but then very, very different. Very, very different. I think it's always very surprising for folks that finish Earthbound and they're like, oh, I want to play more Earthbound. So they play Mother 3 and they're like, I kind of got my wish. So... yeah, Dan is another one who never played Mother 3, and I told him, I was like, buddy, you let me know when you're streaming that, and I will be there for each stream. I want to watch you play that.
My friend played it recently, and it was very fun to experience with someone.
Was it Josh who hadn't played it, or Tom?
Tom has played Mother 3.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Josh also hasn't played Mother 3. Josh hasn't finished Earthbound.
That's what I meant, sorry, Earthbound.
Yeah. So, probs play it during the month of January. Yeah, it's longer. It's for a new player, it's probably twice as long.
Yeah.
I bet it's twice, maybe not quite twice, but almost twice as long as Earthbound.
All right, I hear this sometimes, but people are like, "Oh, well, I'm waiting for the official English release."
Nope,
it's not happening.
Nope,
period.
Yeah,
it's like seriously, like the thing is like the translation patch is absolutely top quality, done by people who actually translate, probably better than what Nintendo would do.
No, I've said that for years. It is better than what Nintendo would make.
100 times better.
It's better. Like whatever Nintendo would do, I promise you, the fan translation is better than what Nintendo would release.
And chunks of the game would be missing.
Yeah. Do not, if you're waiting for an official release, don't do that.
Because it won't come ever.
Yeah. It's,
yeah. And the thing is, like, honestly, even if an official one did come out, I would still be like, play the fan one because it was done by, like, people who are actually professionals.
They really put thought into referencing the original
everything.
And trying to find the best translation they could for things.
Yeah.
Fan translation was released 2 years after Mother 3 came out. So Mother 3 came out 2006. The fine folks that worked on the fan translation gave Nintendo 2 years to say something, and they said nothing. And then they were like, all right.
Basically, Nintendo has officially, I mean, clearly doesn't care because they knew and they could have shut it down, and they have never shut it down.
Yeah.
So I think it's very much Nintendo being like, just stop calling our phones. You can have your fan translation.
Mr. Deathkill says, same people who translated for Dragon Ball anime, if I recall correctly. Yeah, so Clyde was the head translator on Mother 3, and Clyde has done a ton of work. Clyde worked for Funimation. Still works for Funimation?
I don't know.
Worked for Funimation. Worked for Funimation for like 15 years, and then also not only working on a bunch of anime stuff, but worked on games, tons of video games and stuff too. So like Clyde had the experience that was absolutely necessary for it, and then also
Jeff did a ton of programming behind. There was a lot of programming behind the scenes,
and there was also just a ton of people involved in the project that were all extremely big Earthbound fans. Like, there again, and I cannot stress this enough, it is a better product than whatever official release there would be.
Yeah.
I do not say that lightly.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean that.
I
really mean that.
I very much, prefer when possible to support the real thing. But the thing about Mother 3 is just like, I don't know. In my opinion, there was an unofficial stamp of approval from Nintendo because they didn't shut it down, and they could have. And yeah, somebody pointed out like they shut down the Mother 4 fan project, so like they're, they shut things down, but this was the kind of thing where they just were like, just stop calling our phones because we did a lot to them.
I have so many fun stories. I think that I'm allowed to tell them because it's been like 15 or more years. I remember very vividly when the fan translation was being worked on. There was so a lot of the folks that were involved with the fan translation were folks from Starma.net, which is also how I know everyone in my life, it seems.
I still remember when the fan translation patch dropped and I was in class and I was so excited.
So I was at a convention.
And Chaz.
And Chaz. I was at a convention for Starma.net, which it was really just ChefCon, but more people, because it was like, I don't know, 20 to 30 people. And I can still remember there was the convention had taken place in Seattle. There was a day where Reed and John and Brian and a bunch of other people from Starma.net had actually went to Nintendo of America to talk to them about a bunch of different little things, one of them being the fan translation. Well, it's not that they necessarily went to talk about the fan translation, but Nintendo like brought it up, and there were a bunch of people that were within the company that were like, hey, we can't wait to play the fan translation. So it was one of those things that like, they say that, and Reed's like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, cool, yeah. And I remember that so vividly because like there was a few people in the group that went and had that conversation. There was that night, we had a big bonfire on the beach. I was there, Chaz was there, there's a few other folks. Paul was there. And like Reed was recounting how it went at Nintendo, and he was like, yeah, they brought up the fan translation and how they were excited to see it and to play it, and everyone on the beach was like, what? It was really exciting. So, I think it's been so long that no one gets fired from that story now, but like, it's just that's a cool thing, and that is also still, after all these years, how I feel about it. So like, please play
Nintendo unofficial approval.
Please play Mother 3. It is a wonderful game, and the fan translation is very likely the only way we'll ever have to play it, and it doesn't matter even if it's not, it'll still be the best way to play it. Yeah. Anyway, Earthbound facts. 20 months from Mother Fairy, 46 months from Marty Griff 1980, and 26 months from Paranite. And I know I dropped a bunch of names that probably don't mean anything to anyone. Reed started Starma.net alongside Clyde, who was the fan translator for Mother 3. Reed then went on to start Fangamer. So if you own anything from Fangamer, there are real deep ties into the Earthbound community.
I remember when Fangamer went live with their little EB shirt. There, and then also the striped shirts.
Yeah. Actually, that was another big thing. Mao was there for that one. Me and you, and Chaz and Paul were there too.
Stephanie was there
when they pitched the idea for Fangamer, because it was another.
That was Chicago.
It was in Chicago, and Reed was there, and John had made the logo, and they had made their first shirt, which was the Earthbound 95X shirt, and they had made pins, and they were like, "We've got this idea." Chaz says, "I have one of the prototype PK Rockin' shirts." That's right, they had the PK
EB95. Yep. Yeah, I have my EB95 one still. Steven never got one because they didn't have one or something.
I'm still mad that I lost one of their early Chrono Trigger shirts. I lost it in a move, and I'm very mad about it.
Yeah.
I also really should have bought the Well Tall shirt, but I didn't, and then now it's not really.
Yeah, there's a handful of things I wish I would have bought back then, but
they made a Xenogear shirt. No one makes Xenogear shirt.
there was a few things over the years that I didn't buy, and just because I was like busy with things, or it was saving money or whatever. And then I was always like, I wish I could have gotten that. And then Thomas had bought it and sold it to me. So now I have, there's some figurines that were made in limited quantities, and they were created by Camille, who is Reed's wife. Camille also made our cake topper for our wedding, so you can kind of see where all these web get tangled up.
It's a very tangly web.
Very tangled web.
Yeah, when people are like, how did you and Alex meet? And I'm like,
this is complicated. Yeah.
How long we got? Which story you want?
Yeah, I mean,
you want the real story? You want the short story?
You can go in so many different directions.
Yeah.
Like, Alex because of Earthbound. Alex because of the connection that we have. Yeah, you just met in Seattle. Like, there's so many different ways that you can explain that.
Depending on who asks, I can say, like, we met at a video game convention, or our best friends are married. Our college roommates married each other. And then if we want to keep going real back, then we're like, so there's this website.
It's fun because your story of our college roommates married each other is the same thing that we get to say also. It's because, anytime if folks ask about Alex and Haley, be like, oh, our college roommates married each other. It's the same story. It's fun. It's very, very fun.
Yeah, that's usually like the real basic one. But if somebody's like, I really want to know the secrets, and I'm like, it's a weird one. I knew Alex. Alex once in 2009 made a content-aware scaling of a photograph of me for funsies, despite not meeting me, and then I just knew him by his voice.
I mean, I think the takeaway is that if someone creates a content-aware scaled photo of you, it's destiny. That's exactly how that works.
He did tell me that he saw my pictures, and the reason why he did it is like, well, first off, I was your friend, but also
I was friends with Alex on Facebook then,
he
and
thought I was cute.
He took all my photos and was doing that, and he was like, "Oh, she's cute," and then he did that for Haley's photo.
Yeah, he said his thought was, that girl is very cute and is exactly my type, but I will never meet her. So instead, I'm going to content-aware scale a photograph of her so she looks like a cube.
I like this girl a lot. Perfect. Send.
So I'm tagged in a photo that Alex made of me in 2009, and we did not meet until 2013. Cupify your crush.
Oh, I love this. Chaz says, my first interaction with Alex was when Steven messaged me and told me, Alex thinks what you're doing is a dumb idea. Is there any other context for what you're talking about? I mean, it's not completely necessary, but like, I have no idea. There is, but I'm not sharing it. Fair. I have no idea. But also, that's very funny. I feel bad because Alex isn't here to defend himself. College Alex definitely had a lot of opinions about things. So it's funny that, like, that was your interaction. It's like, Alex thinks this is stupid. Alex is the authority on something.
So Alex thinks something is stupid. Alex takes a photograph of you and makes it real ugly because he thinks you're cute.
Dan, that's how it works. It's how it works. It's just how it works. You just need a content-aware scale.
Yeah,
a few photos.
Get real cubey.
Yep. The bigger the cube, the more the love.
The bigger they make your face, the more they like you. I mean, think about your picture where you could fit an entire roast chicken in your mouth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Alex must really love me. Because he really, like, for both of us,
Yeah.
It was a bold move to just make all of his friends look the way that they did. Content-aware scale has been used in ways that I don't think Adobe really planned on. And it's fine. It's a better use. It's a better use of the technology, in my opinion. Have y'all ever seen the videos where, like, people will they'll take an entire frame sequence for like a movie.
Oh,
so like every frame,
that one up, Thomas.
they'll do every frame from a clip, and they'll run each frame independently through content-aware scale. So wild stuff is happening. It's like constantly changing. So then you get these really amazing clips. There's one from Full Metal Jacket that comes to mind, where the guy is yelling, but his face is like constantly being distorted. I love that stuff. That's the sort of thing I like to watch in my free time. We got 20 months from Miami Florence. Thank you. Appreciate it. God, I've laughed so much. Okay, we're getting near the end of the stream. We need to remember the things that are happening. Oh, I've got a few huge announcements actually. So, first thing, there is a stream in like 2 hours, a little less than 2 hours, sometime around noon. The three of us are going to be. Oh Christ, Lord! Yeah, that's.
Thank you. Do you have a picture of me too?
Also, this is a great example. If someone doesn't know what content-aware scale is, it's this. Content-aware scale is where Photoshop attempts to keep important details of a image the same. The purpose of the feature is like, if you have a landscape, you want to do the cat whiskers one?
Oh yeah. For sure. It says you can see what Alex does to people who he thinks are cute.
If he thinks you're cute, he'll do this to you.
I was dressing up like Mr. Saturn, obviously.
And I mean,
that was the Mr. Saturn feat.
But you can see like Haley's eyes and nose are relatively normal size
Very
there.
cube.
So the software is like trying to keep key details the same, but then make other details larger, and it's not intended.
Oh, Dan.
Oh yeah, there's Dan.
From Red and
Dan's not even that short. Dan's like normal height.
Yeah, it made Rhett very giraffe-like.
Man, they have no idea this great photograph of them exists.
I love it.
I posted in the.
It looks like a Weezer photo. It does. It does.
The Dylan neck.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if folks knew, but like
Dan knew Rhett and Link.
Dan knew Rhett and
back.
Link way back, and actually went and spent time with them and worked for them. This was like they were still kind of getting started. Dan actually cut an entire. There was a Christmas video. It's one from a long time ago. Dan actually cut the Christmas video that's on the channel. It's like a Jingle Bells something.
He made them famous, really.
It was Dan. And like since then, I know. Dan interned with them December 2008, and I remember since then Dan's actually been to went to see them or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like because they do like
they did a thing in North Carolina and he drove to it.
Yeah, and he had like a VIP pass because he's Dan. Like Rhett and Link know Dan. So yeah, there's a lot of there's so much fun stuff. It's neat. It's really neat. Anyway, there's so many fun things to talk about. Is that what it was? They played the North Carolina State Fair in 2019. Okay. Yeah. Who even knows what other connections that we have? Thomas says Dan could call Link right now and just ask about his day.
Link actually calls him every day.
Yeah, just totally normal things. We got 37 months from DC Racer 329. 300 bits from MTAP. It says, forgot to message this on Tuesday, but I wanted to send good vibes to those who celebrated Christmas Day alone or who were sick and had to be quarantined because someone else in their family was sick like mine. Dad has COVID.
Oh.
Well, first off, good vibes to your dad. I hope your dad gets feeling better as quickly as possible. And then also, I think that's just a good sentiment.
Yeah.
And I know that there was a few folks in our Discord who mentioned that as well, that they had to, for one reason or another, had to spend Christmas alone. And I hope that the day was as either enjoyable or maybe tolerable as possible. And I hope for better days ahead as we move into a new year. I was actually talking to someone yesterday about 2022 and how it was an interesting year. It was for us, obviously, it's been very interesting because there was a big transition year.
Mm-hmm.
And the person I was talking to kind of felt similarly in like, it's not that it was a bad year necessarily, but it was real busy and they were excited to get into the next year. And I was like, yeah, I feel the same.
Yeah.
I feel exactly the same. Going back to talking about things that are coming up, we got the puzzle stream in just a little bit here, noon-ish. Tomorrow, normal stream time, 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be doing a short game and a Q&A.
Yeah.
It's going to be our last stream of the year, so don't miss it. It's going to be a good one. And then also, you're releasing a Patreon video
Today.
Mm-hmm. Shortly after stream.
Yeah.
Shortly after stream. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, wait, Mal is releasing a Patreon video? Mallory is releasing a Patreon video. It's big info. Mal's got some big info. So if you're a patron of hers, do check out that video because it's got some real big information in it. And you'll want to learn it. You'll want to watch it. So she'll probably get that out shortly after stream. Before we do puzzle stream.
Chaz
for sure.
watched it and said it was good, so.
Oh, wonderful. So yeah, soon, actually. Very, very soon.
Yeah.
And I think
I also have a painting coming out on Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, and it's great. It's great. I don't want to be like, it was my idea. It was my idea.
Yeah.
But it came out really, really good, and I thought that it was a fun piece. It is from a game. It's actually from a series Mal has never painted before. That's a hint. So take out everything.
You did something from Xenogears for me?
Yeah. No, it's not Xenogears. Yeah. So it take a look. I'm Dwarf Fortress. It's not Dwarf Fortress. Yeah, I'm excited for y'all to see it.
I don't feel like Xenogears belongs to this other series. Strong feelings.
And I think that's it.
That's it.
Is there anything else to announce?
No.
I don't think so. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and end it off there. Oh, I forgot. I have vlogs scheduled for today because I've been trying. I got a vlog scheduled for 10:30, so there'll be a video coming out in just a few minutes.
5 minutes.
Just a few minutes, so be sure to check that out. I cut it really tight. It's fun. I don't normally cut vlogs like that, but I was real inspired when I was editing, and I was like, I feel like doing this. So I was like, ch-ch-ch-ch. So you like it. That's it. That's it. I don't think there's anything else.
Nope.
Hopefully, we'll see y'all in like 90 minutes or so. We're going to take a little break and maybe have a snack. And then we'll see y'all for...
There's only one more pretzel.
Oh, you didn't have a pretzel?
No, I had a bite of yours.
Yeah, that means you get a bite of her pretzel.
Ooh. Okay. All right, folks. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful 90 minutes. Y'all have a wonderful 90 minutes. And we will see you here shortly for
You're gonna do a vlog, right?
Kind of. I mean, it's like
4 minutes.
Yeah, 3.5 minutes out. So y'all go check that out if you want. We also got 49 months from Ice My Moose. Thank you. Oh yes, absolutely. Straight to Taint Dome. Things that Chaz loves me saying on the family friendly stream.